Okay, hello, welcome back, and we're going to continue on our orchestra version on Unnatural Selection by Muse. We hadn't really got much, but that's because my camera died, and if I look now, I think we have a good amount of time to at least finish the intro. So I studied the intro a bit more in depth. The chord progression is actually quite interesting. It starts off with that low E, we've got that here. But one thing that's really important, well, it's not important, but it's really handy. If I press P on the keyboard, it will show me the piano, and I know the exact notes which should be heard. So if we play it, all the notes which you hear will show on the bottom, like this. So now the chord comes in, and the four chord is shown. Now, I see that something is odd, and I want to keep it as close to home as it is. So I don't want to adjust too many things, and I just want to keep it the way it was. Just to give you an example of what I want. You got this E, and you got this E. They are the same note. You can tell by, you've got the 2 black bars and the 3 black bars, and that's an algorithm that keeps on repeating itself. So it's the same notes over and over. And in between these E's, there should not be any notes. Alright? Now if I'll play it, you'll see there are more notes than there should be. So this note is okay. That's fine. That's one of the root notes. We need a root note as the bass note of any chord. So if it's an E chord, the root note is the E. So what I did is I switched up a bit of the notes. So now you'll see that only notes are played which I want to be played. The dynamic is not yet correct, so I'll need to fix that up too. But that's easy, as you see. Just like that, all the dynamics are in place. And that's more like it. Okay, but now the second chord is also quite weird. Okay, I'm going to change up the notes again, and it will be done now. So notes are fixed, and now it's the notes I want. That's incorrect. Those are not the notes I want. Alright, figured it out. The tenor saxophone was playing a bit too high, so now it's the chord I want. It's not. What note? Who's playing that E? Why is this trombone playing an E? So, from the beginning now, it sounds like this. You know, sometimes when things don't sound right in this way, it will sound right when you hear it in real life. We're just gonna continue and everything will make sense in the end, but we're just gonna ignore that sounds weird, and we're just gonna keep going, and it will clear itself up, no worries. Alright, next chord, and this is very interesting, because if you play the 5th chord, and you may normally, when it's a minor scale, the 5th chord will be a minor chord, but if you make it a major chord, and especially if you make it a major 7th chord, or a minor 7th, it doesn't really matter, as long as it's a 7th chord, it will want to resolve to that 1st chord. And that's what's happening in this chord progression, and that's freaking awesome because it sounds awesome. We're gonna begin with the vocal line for the trumpets, and I'm gonna grab my book. Done the vocal line, and it should sound pretty awesome right now, at least recognizable. Alright, I recognize it. Doesn't sound optimal though. I will adjust that later on, but let's just add the chords now, and we'll see how it sounds when the chords are added. So At the third chord, I happen to have a lot of people playing the root notes. Pretty excited to see how this sounds. I hope you are too, because you're gonna hear it now. That sounds fucking amazing. Okay, so now I've got the first 4 chords down, and now comes the fun part, because now it's going to be a chromatic box, so that means just half steps. So if you go on a piano, it would be like this. And that's also because you don't see that often. I'll just go ahead and do it.
No chance for fate. It's unnatural selection.
Okay, so I'm done with all the parts, and I haven't checked yet. If it's okay, we're going to fix the melody line, and if not, then I'll fix it. So let's just hear if it's good. That was almost perfect, except for one thing. This last chord, there is no one playing that D. Why did no one play the D? Okay, so we now only need to adjust a few bits of the melodic line, because the way it's written in my book, my Muse tab book, I'm not sponsored, but I just want you to know what book I'm talking about. It's kind of more like a rough sketch of what it's supposed to be, and I want to make it for an orchestra, so it's got to be more exacting, it's got to be more recognizable, and especially easier to play, because there's not really that much logic. It needs to be playable for people who don't actually know the song. Alright, so this first measure right here, this is pretty decent. Straightforward, easy to play, and sounds correct. Now second bit is where I'm a bit like I'm just gonna simplify that. What I did is I kept them the same, that was alright. This I added up a little bit so it looks more similar to this one here. This just simplified it a little bit, and this is just the same. All we need to do now is go to the measure lines and add that. Okay, so now this is the intro to Unnatural Selection by Muse. Let's hear it. That sounds actually quite amazing. I'm really happy with what we've got so far, and I think it will turn out even better than we can even imagine right now. Then I hope to see you next time, where we are gonna take a look at how we're gonna get the second type intro done. Alright, see you next time.